Stop right there. If you clicked on this video, it means you are interested in tasting the sweet, sweet nectar that is financial freedom and figured that we, a trader, can assist you. Well, you, my friend, are totally right. Top of the morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we encourage you to click on the subscribe button down there, as well as the tiny little bell next to it, because it'll keep you notified whenever we upload new videos, which will be every Monday morning. All right, here is what went down at the Tanzanian stock market, which is known as the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange this week. We will be breaking this down into equity market and the debt or bond market. Let us begin with the equity market. This is the part of the stock exchange that deals with shares of companies. Now, last week, the value of shares traded in the DSE amounted to 2.56 billion Tanzanian shillings. Now, let's quickly see in the graph below if the previous week had more or less activity. Now, there had been a 120% increase in trading this week. And now you'll notice from this other graph that Monday and Friday took the lead. And this is because there was a very large number of shares traded on those specific days. Now on Monday, around 1 million shares of Vodacom Tanzania PLC, which is one of the mobile network operators in Tanzania, were traded. Now this is about 78% of the shares traded on that day. And on Friday, 2.6 million CRDB PLC Tanzania, which is one of the big banking giants in Tanzania, was traded, which was around 84% of the shares that were traded on that day. And these were both under the block trade prearranged market board, which occurs when an entity purchases shares worth more than 200 million Tanzanian shillings at a prearranged price or a negotiated price, which is generally a lower price than the market price. Now, speaking of shares traded during the week, the specific number was 4,820,054 shares. Now, this figure is very relevant because we're going to break it down and it'll basically tell us which companies investors were most interested in trading last week. Now, at number one, we have CRDB Bank PLC accounting for 62% of the total volume traded for the week. At number two, we have Vodacom PLC accounting for 21% of the total volume traded for the week. And finally, we have the self-listed DSE accounting for 12% of the total volume traded for the week. Moving on to this section where we will be showing the companies which experienced price changes during the week.
All right. Just to finish off, the value of the whole market this week closed at 15.81 trillion Tanzanian shillings on Friday, which was an approximately 0.04% increase compared to 15.80 trillion Tanzanian shillings on Monday. The all-share index DASEI increased this week as well by the same 0.04%. Now that the equity portion is over, let us zoom over to the Treasury Bond section. We want to know firstly if there was more activity this week compared to last week. The value of Treasury Bonds traded during this week amounted to 27.59 billion Tanzanian shillings. There was a 61% decrease in trading in this segment compared to last week. This is possibly because the bond prices are overpriced as they are sold at a premium price of which is greater than the face value of 100 Tanzanian shillings. However, the appetite is still very high for 20 and 25-year Treasury bonds, which offer coupon rates of 15.49% and 15.95% respectively. On Wednesday, there had been an auction for a 25-year Treasury bond offering a coupon of 15.95% every year. Here are the highlights. The amount on offer was 133 billion Tanzanian shillings. It was oversubscribed by 523.40 billion Tanzanian shillings. The absolute minimum price to go through was 117.3146 Tanzanian shillings. This means that investors still have a large appetite for these bonds as they are extremely demanded. You see, being oversubscribed means investors came forth with way more money than the government needed, 523.4 billion Tanzanian shillings more to be exact. This is because investors in the DSE prefer to invest in relatively risk-free equities which offer fixed income such as these bonds, and possibly it's still the beginning of the year and Tanzanians don't want to invest in risky assets as they've spent lots of money during the holiday season and don't want to risk losing more in form of investments just yet. The minimum price to go through was 117.3146 Tanzanian shillings, is what we call a premium price. People are willing to pay 17.3146% more than the bond's face value or fair value, which is 100 Tanzanian shillings. Finishing off with the corporate bond section, there hadn't been any trades as of the previous week. So thank you very much, investors, for tuning in. We hope this video has been informative and insightful and has made you even a little bit more interested in the Tanzanian stock market. Feel free to interact with A Trader in any of our social media platforms and contact us in case of any other questions. Have a great week ahead and karibuni sana.